Hey guys, welcome back. We're still working on applications of the derivative. Why is the derivative important? Why is it a fundamental skill you should learn in college? Well, let's say you have the profit function as you see up here. Here's my profit function. The profit of producing X units. X units, and just for giggles, let's say we're producing X TVs, X units of TVs. I always like to know what X is. Whenever I see a function, I need to know what X is. So X units of TVs. And I also like to know how much money are we doing. Let's say the profit is in millions, okay? Let's say we're a big, large company. So if I produce one TV, I plug in one, I can see how much profit I'm making. When I plug in one, I can see that I have $10 million for the profit of this one TV. This must be a high-end, gold-plated TV, that's for sure. All right, with Disney Plus forever. So what we have here is, again, when you plug in one, the P of one, right? Just for understanding this function, I want everybody to understand the function. P of one. Plug in one, evaluate at one. When we plug in one, we get negative 1 squared plus 8 times 1 plus 3. Do some simple math. First, you have to square before you negate. Good rules of algebra. You get 10. So 10 million. So we're looking at one TV, a profit of $10 million. Nice. That is awesome. Okay, so the question becomes, could I make more money if I produce 2 TVs or 3 TVs? When would be the perfect number of TVs to make? What is the maximum profit I can make? These are the questions I want to know. How many TVs do I need to make maximum profit? And what is my best profit? I see 10 million right now. If I plug in 2, would there be more money or less money? Now we could play the game with just plugging in, but I'd like to have a nice, sweet, concise way of finding a maximum, or if this was a cost function, a minimum. Right now, it's a profit function. I want to maximize profit when I can. So how does one find a maximum? Well, a max or min, I always do the same steps when I'm finding a max or a min. All right, it's part of my graphing process. What I do is I take the derivative, because that's where the max and mins can potentially occur. They're called the critical points. I take the derivative. The derivative of this expression is negative 2x plus 8. If you're having issues on this, please see my previous videos on the derivative rules. That's a power rule. Derivative of 8x is 8, and the derivative of 3 is 0. Constant rule, linear rule, power rule. Get all these rules in previous videos or look them up on different sites. So there's my derivative. Now, the max or mins occur when the derivative is equal to 0. So what do? We set this equation equal to 0, and we solve it. All right, max and mins occur when the derivative is 0. How do I know that? Let me get to the end and we'll sum it up nicely why I know that. But there is my logic. Flashcard, to find a max and min, derivative set equal to 0 and solve it. Derivative set equal to 0 and solve, find some max and min. I'm all about flashcards, all about learning this stuff. So can I solve that? Good algebra, right guys? Subtract the 8, divide by the negative 2, you get cuatro. You get 4. Again, subtract the 8, divide the negative 2. I need good algebra skills from you guys. So that is my potential max. Please don't just stop there and go, that's my max. Incomplete answer to me. How do you know that's a maximum? How do you know that's not a minimum? The derivative equal to 0 could give you a max, could give you a minimum, or could give you a different point. If you see my graphing videos, you'll find the other points as we're called. But, all right, how do I guarantee it? Well, this is why I always do this process. Whenever I find a max or min, it's the same process. Derivative equal to 0, build a chart to evaluate what this is. What do you mean by build a chart to evaluate? Well, if you look at most calculus books, they do it very similar. What they do is they pick a point prior to your potential max or min. You pick a point after your max or min, and got to pick a point before and after. I don't care which numbers you choose. The red, please make a note. Don't care. Just choose them. And then plug them into the derivative. That's very important. Plug the red into the derivative. So let's do that. When I plug 1 into the derivative, I get 6. I don't care about the 6. I care that it's positive. The derivative is positive. I know by plugging in, I know the derivative is positive. Now let's plug in 6. don't care what the number is. I care the fact that it's negative. All right, why did I do this? Well, think about the math you did here. The only point where the derivative is 0, I solve for. There's only one point here. That's the only point where it can be 0. That means the other points have to be either positive or negative. And so what we're doing here is we picked 1 as a representative point before 4, and it was positive. Pick any number before 4. 0. When you plug in 0, it's positive 8. Plug in negative 2. When you plug it in, it's positive. No matter what number you plug in before 4, it's positive. What does that mean? Well, think about what it means for the derivative. The derivative is the slope. The slope is positive. That means you are going uphill, and the word we like to use in this class is increasing. I know my function is increasing before 4. Well, think about a maximum. Maximum profit. What do you got to do to get to a maximum? You have to increase. So that makes sense to me, guys. If it was decreasing, we're not going towards a maximum. All right, so we got increasing. On this side, it's negative. Well, negative in the derivative means my function is decreasing. These are my functions. These are my derivatives. So my function, my p, is increasing. My p is decreasing. Think about it. If I increase to decrease, this must be a maximum. And that's what I have. It's kind of my first derivative test, as I call it. I'm using the first derivative to test that it's a maximum. I got increase to decrease. All right, that is clearly a maximum. To get to a maximum, you have to increase and decrease before. Utilizing the derivative, I found the answer. 4 units is the maximum number of units I should produce. 4 is the answer I'm looking for. That's awesome. There's more to this. By the way, to make this full, you should also find the point that's the maximum, not just the x value. You really should always find the point. So 4 is the units. How much money can I make? What is the best day possible? You plug in 4 and you'll find out. The function, remember, flashcard again, the function is the y value. The function is the y value. The derivative is the slope. The function, let me plug in 4, be careful, negative 16 plus 32. That's 16 plus 3 is 19. So hopefully I've done my work correctly. Negative 16 plus 32 is 16 plus 3 is 19. 19 million, not bad. Produce 4 TVs, I get 19 million in profit. That's the best scenario possible for my company right now. It's producing 4 TVs, whatever this is, a month, a day, and that's my profit, 19 million. That is awesome. One last thing, and I'll let us go here. Just to look at it visually, because some people might say, can I just graph this? Of course you could graph it. You could graph this function. It's a parabola upside down. And it has a maximum, better known as the vertex. And yes, we found it. All right, we found the maximum. It was 4, I believe 19, if my memory doesn't fail me too often. Plug in 4, good, it is 19. That is the maximum. And again, this is what I'm looking for. That's the profit. When you answer questions, please understand the units. That is the variables. If the question is, what are the number of units to maximize profit? It's 4 units. How much profit is the maximum? 19 million. There's 2 different questions. Please make sure you answer the questions correctly and in detail. Again, I knew this is a parabola because of good algebra. The vertex is the maximum. And it's good to always have a visual to help us guide us. The TI calculator could find it. But I'm trying to show you how valuable the derivative is. Notice the derivative said I'm increasing before 4. Look at the graph. Look left to right. As I go left to right, you're going uphill. You're increasing. As you look left to right, you're going uphill. You're increasing. And then my work on the board said it was decreasing after 4. And it is. After 4, we're going downhill. We're decreasing. So all the math I did leads me to this beautiful picture and a complete analysis of the situation, at least for maximum profit. Thank you guys. I hope you check out my other videos.